And so welcome back to another one, you guys. If you're new to the channel, my name is Andrew with Younger Toyota in Hagerstown, Maryland. For more information on our inventory, please feel free to check out the link in the description box below. So today we are in the brand new 2025 Toyota BZ4X because there has been a massive price cut for the 2025 model year, and this is an all-electric SUV from Toyota. You get an 8-year, 100,000-mile warranty on the battery in case you were curious, and you actually do get free oil changes for life, believe it or not. And yes, that is a joke, don't take that seriously, but ultimately in this video we will be testing out and going over everything about this one. So having said that, what do you guys say? Let's just go ahead and jump right into it, and as always, let's start with pricing. And so as you can imagine, there are a few different trim levels for the 2025 BZ4X. You got the XLE starting at $37,070, and yes, that is around $5,000 less than the 2024 model year. Got the Nightshade all-wheel drive for $40,420. That is a new trim level for 2025, by the way. And then you got the Limited starting at $41,800. And so the Nightshade is the only trim level that comes standard with all-wheel drive. The other two come standard with front-wheel drive. If you wanted to add all-wheel drive to those two, you can do that. Simply add $2,080. And in case you guys were curious, today we are in the XLE front-wheel drive. So we got the base trim level with us here today. So anyways, when it comes to the power plant, it is going to differ between the front wheel drive and the all-wheel drive. So for the front wheel drive, you get a single electric motor putting out 201 horsepower, 196 pound-feet of torque. Range for that one is going to come in at 252 miles for our XLE front wheel drive that we have with us here today. 236 miles then for the Limited. 80% charge can be had in around 30 minutes in case you were curious about that. But then the all-wheel drive, of course, is going to get a dual electric motor setup. That one puts out 214 horsepower, 248 pound-feet of torque. Range for that one approximately 222 miles. You can do an 80% charge in approximately 35 minutes. 0 to 60 time for that one approximately 6.4 seconds. But so then before we do any kind of fun acceleration test here in this one, I did want to mention to you guys the drive modes. The buttons are located essentially just to the right of the shifter. Drive modes are going to include Eco, Normal, and Snow for the front wheel drive, but then if you go with the all-wheel drive, you're also going to get X mode, thank you Subaru, which is going to add snow and dirt and deep snow and mud as well. So now having got all of that out of the way, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and find a straightaway. Let's put the acceleration here to the test, and let's see how quickly we can get this one here up to speed. And go! Little slipping. Still quick. Oh man, electric cars accelerations, like, no matter what you get, it's gonna be fun because it kind of feels like a go-kart because of that instant torque. But yeah, there was a little bit slipping, I gotta be honest, because we had the front wheel drive configuration with us here today. I would imagine with the all-wheel drive, I'm pretty sure with the all-wheel drive that I tested before, there wasn't any slipping, but yeah, there was a little bit there, but that's fine. It's still an incredible acceleration, and honestly, it wasn't as much as I expected with all that instant torque, so that's perfectly fine. But to go along with that acceleration, as always, braking is equally important. So up front, you will find 12.9-inch ventilated front discs, and the back 12.5-inch ventilated rear discs. As far as that 60-0 stopping distance goes, that comes in at 125 feet. As far as the braking feel goes, definitely on the softer side of things. Wouldn't have minded a bit firmer of a braking feel there. I mean, it's not bad. That number is respectable, 125 feet. That's pretty much par for the course, but I don't know, I just like a firmer braking feel. So anyways, it's perfectly fine. There's no one pedal drive mode, by the way, for the BZ4X. Some electric cars will give you that, so I did want to mention that as well. But then touching on suspension and handling, up front you're going to get an independent McPherson strut front suspension. In the back, independent multi-link rear suspension, front and rear stabilizer bars. As far as ride quality goes, it has been perfectly fine in my short little test drive here today. Like, absolutely no issues whatsoever when it comes to that. As far as steering feel goes, it's definitely weighted on the heavier side of things, and I absolutely love it. It instantly points you in the direction that you want to go. So when it comes to steering feel, huge fan. I can tell the handling is incredible in this thing. Touching on cabin noise as we are pulling back out onto the highway here, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. We're accelerating right now. Do get a little bit of that electric car kind of sound when you hit the gas, but not as much as like a Ford Mustang Mach-E or something like that. But we're going 54 miles per hour right now, so I'll let you guys be the judge of that. I'm getting a little bit of wind noise, but honestly, it's not that bad. It's nothing that would personally bother me. And touching our rear visibility, 100% not gonna have any issues there. Looking at my rear view mirror, I could see perfectly fine. Also, to add to that, forward visibility, rain sensing windshield wipers do come standard on the BZ4X as well. So that's going to help you out there. So whenever this thing detects any kind of mist or rainfall, it's going to automatically turn on the windshield wipers, kind of like automatic headlights. So I am definitely a big fan of that too. But anyways, that pretty much rounds out the performance segment of this review, you guys. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the exterior of our brand new 2025 Toyota BZ4X. All right, so here she is, you guys, the new 2025 Toyota BZ4X, finished in wind chill pearl, in case you were curious of our exact exterior color name that we had with us here on this one. But as always, let's go ahead and start with where the BZ4X is made, taking a look at the VIN. First character is the letter J, indicating that the BZ4X is built and assembled in Japan. I love that. So let's go ahead and start up front. Of course, you have zero front grille because this is an electric vehicle after all. You do not need one. To the sides, bi-LED headlights with LED daytime running lights do come standard. Get the automatic feature with them. You also get automatic high beams. So if you have your high beams on at night and it senses a vehicle coming in that opposite direction, it's going to automatically dim them back to low beams. Then when that vehicle is gone, it's going to automatically bounce it back up the high beams for you there. Did want to also mention though, for the limited trim level only, you get multi-LED projector headlights. So a little better illumination there. Bottom corners, you guys can see there are front air curtains helping direct air around the wheel and tire combination. And one thing I did not want to leave out up front, kind of up front, I guess you can call it up front, but it's the hammerhead hood with the gloss black accent. So there's kind of a little accent there. So I wanted to show that to you guys because it's just interesting. It's like nothing else on the road, so I like it. But that pretty much rounds out the front end. Let's now go ahead and swing around to the side. All right, and so now since we are around to the side of this one, you're either going to find chrome or matte black upper window trim, depending upon the configuration that you go with. Gloss black roof is going to be optional. Rear privacy glass comes standard. Taking a look at the side mirrors, they are gloss black power adjustable side mirrors. They will be heated. They are power folding, and you actually do get puddle lights coming standard as well, which is pretty cool. Then take a look down at the wheel setup. 18-inch alloy wheels with covers for the XLE, 20-inch black alloys for the Nightshade, and then 20-inch multi-spoke alloys for the Limited. But that pretty much rounds out the side profile. Let's now go ahead and swing around to the back. All right, so now since we are around to the back of this one, all the way to the top, you will find a body colored shark fin antenna. And the cool thing about the BZ4X, I'm going to get up a little bit closer to show you guys, but you actually have dual rear spoilers. You got this kind of upper rear spoiler to the top part of the rear window there, but then you also have a gloss black rear spoiler down below. So that looks kind of cool. I like that. No rear window wiper for whatever reason. I noticed that last time I reviewed this car, which is interesting. You do have LED taillights though. They definitely look good on this one. And of course, no exhaust outlet down below because it's an electric car after all. So can't do the exhaust clip for you, but that pretty much rounds out the back end. Let's now go ahead and make our way to the inside. All right, so now since we are around to the back of the BZ4X, when it comes to opening that rear tailgate, it is going to be a hands-free power tailgate for the Limited. Otherwise, it is going to still be a power tailgate for all trim levels across the board. There is a button on the key fob. There's actually a rubberized button on the tailgate itself then as well. But once opened up, cargo capacity comes in at 38.8 cubic feet. If that was not enough space, the rear seats, of course, do fold down, bumping that up to 56.1 cubic feet. But plenty going on in the cargo area. You have LED cargo lighting. You don't always find that in the back. I liked that. There is a cargo cover back there. You got tie-down anchors. It's actually grocery bag hooks. You got one on each side, so that was pretty cool. And then if you were to lift up underneath of that cargo floor, you will find some in-floor storage, more than likely to put the charging cables back there. So then make your way up to the rear legroom. That is going to come in at 35.3 inches. For reference, I'm even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had in the rear seats there. Rear ventilation does come standard. You get dual rear USB charging ports coming standard as well. If you wanted heated rear seats, go with the Limited trim level, but all trim levels will get a rear center armrest with cup holders, and actually there's a little tablet or cell phone holder just in front of the cup holders as well, so that was pretty cool. Rear ambient floor lighting does come standard. Can't probably show that to you guys right now, but that's going to look good at night. And you get front seat back pockets, of course, as well. But now let's go ahead and make our way up to the front seats. You're going to find a fabric Softex combination for the XLE and Nightshade trims, but then full Softex seating for the Limited trim level. 8-way power driver's seat with power lumbar coming standard. Heated front seats for the Nightshade and Limited, and a apparently we got an option today on the XLE because we do have heated front seats. I liked that. Ventilated front seats then coming on the Limited. Overall, as far as seat comfort goes, Toyota always does an amazing job with their seat comfort, and this is definitely the case with the BZ4X, so absolutely no issues when it comes to seat comfort in this thing. But now let's go ahead and take a look at the steering wheel. It is tilt and telescoping. It is going to be leather wrapped for all trim levels, and if you wanted a heated steering wheel, comes standard on the Limited. It is optional on all other trim levels, and we got that option as well, so that was definitely nice. But now let's go ahead and make our way to the startup. Let me start by showing you guys the key here. All of your buttons are located on one side of the key. Got your Toyota logo at the very bottom, but there's lock, unlock, button to pop the rear tailgate, and button to turn on the AC on super hot days as well, so that's kind of nice. But it is all keyless entry with a push button start, so all I'm going to do here is simply put my foot on the brake and press that engine start button located just in front of the shifter there. And so once started up, I think the gauge cluster looks pretty dang cool. It kind of reminds me of Volkswagen and what they do with like their ID4 and their ID Buzz and cars like that. But 7-inch digital gauge cluster is actually bigger than theirs, believe it or not. Got a digital speedometer up there, of course, outside temperature, how many miles you have left until you run out of charge. Charging percentage is located up there as well. So pretty much everything you could possibly want up there, so that definitely looks good in my opinion. But now let's go ahead and make our way to overall interior quality. You're going to find a panoramic glass roof with the power sunshade for all trim levels across the board. Love that. LED interior lighting coming standard. You get dual zone climate control coming standard as well, so both driver and passenger can set their own temperatures there. Wireless phone charger is going to be located directly behind that shifter there, so that is it's kind of like hidden. It has a little cover for it, so you can close that up if you wanted to. And speaking of the shifter, it's a little bit different than most people are probably familiar with. So as far as putting it in reverse, you press down and turn it to the left. To put it in drive, you press down and turn it to the right. Neutral, you just press down, and then the parking button is just in front of that. But that's a little different than I think most people are probably used to, so I wanted to mention that. But auto dimming rear view mirror with home light controls coming standard on the Limited trim level. Get a little bit of hidden storage underneath the shifter as well. I definitely like that. And with that hidden storage, there's also a phone charging port, 12-volt power outlet, little place to put your cell phone, maybe for the passenger down there as well if they were charging it. So definitely liked that. But just behind the wireless phone charger, you have your dual cup holders, a little bit of storage there. Then within the center armrest, you have even more storage in there as well. So that is definitely pretty nice. But I like all the finishes. Honestly, I like all the gloss black finishes surrounding the shifter that they brought onto the doors. I really like this dash trim up here. They basically brought the material from the seating and then put it just above the passenger side glove box up on the dash there. So I think that looks really darn good. So I'm a big fan of that. And this interior lighting, this LED interior lighting up top, that looks like it's straight off of Mercedes-Benz, quite honestly, so that looks good as well. So overall, when it comes to interior quality, I definitely did not have any issues. But now let's go ahead and take a look at this massive infotainment screen. It is a 12.3-inch color touchscreen display. You get Bluetooth and audio streaming, wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay as well. You can check out your charging statistics up there, of course, along with your radio information. So when it comes to the sound systems, 6 speakers is actually going to come standard on all trim levels across the board. However, there is an optional sound system specifically for the Limited. That's going to be a 9-speaker JBL sound system that we don't have with us here today. So we do have the 6-speaker with us here, so let's go ahead and turn on the radio. Let's see what we got playing today, and let's test out the clarity of this one.
Trying to leave in just after dark.
Honestly, for a 6-speaker sound system, I've always said this about Toyota. Their standard sound systems are really, really good. Like, that's one of the best, if not the best, 6-speaker sound system that I'm typically used to hearing. So that was incredible. Plenty of bass, plenty of clarity, and that works really well for the BZ4X, believe it or not. But last thing I wanted to mention to you guys on that infotainment screen is when you do put the BZ4X in reverse, it will make a little chiming noise because it's an electric vehicle after all. But it will give you a rear view camera coming standard across the board. 360-degree monitor is optional, but as always, that is going to lead us into safety. And so front side curtain airbags do come standard. You get driver and passenger knee airbags up front actually as well. In the back, you're going to have latch, aka lower anchors to tether your children for the rear car seats, rear child door locks, tire pressure monitoring system. But then also coming standard, Toyota Safety Sense 3.0. That gives you the fun stuff. That gives you pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, lane departure alert with steering assist, lane tracing assist, dynamic radar cruise control, road sign assist, proactive driving assist, motorized blind spot monitoring system with rear cross traffic alert, and front and rear parking sensors with automatic braking then as well. That's definitely nice. But overall, when it comes to my final thoughts here, a very cool gauge cluster, I will say that. It's definitely reminiscent of Volkswagen, and I like theirs too, so big fan of that. This thing's actually plenty quick. Even with the front wheel drive configuration that we had today, it still gripped pretty darn well, and definitely didn't have any issues with the acceleration there. You gotta love the Toyota reliability as well, because Toyota is manufacturing this. They have a heck of a reputation for vehicles that last a long time. And then of course you got that really stellar battery warranty anyway, so either way you should be fine there. And so, but that is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow Younger Toyota somewhere on the screen. Be sure to hit the subscribe and the bell notification button if you're into new car reviews and all of our fun YouTube shorts we put on our channel as well. We do appreciate you guys watching more than you know, and we will see you guys all in the next video. Bye.